Solving system of equations algebraically by elimination. So solving by elimination is we're actually eliminating a variable. And as you notice, we have x squareds and x's. There is no way you'll ever be able to create common coefficients here to completely eliminate the x values. So we always want to eliminate the y value solving by elimination. So in this case, our y values have the same coefficients. So we don't need to necessarily worry about multiplying one or both values by a coefficient to make them the same. They're already the same, but they both are negative y's. So in order to cancel out, one of these expressions has to be negative and one of these variables has to be positive. So in order to create that, I'm going to subtract these systems, the system of equations. And when I do that, remember you're subtracting this entire equation, not just the front value. So a negative applied to all of these terms. I'm going to take a 6x squared minus 4x squared, leaves me with 2x squared. I'm going to take a negative x minus a negative 4, so minus a negative becomes a positive, so I'm going to be left with a plus 3x. A negative y plus y, or sorry, a negative y minus a negative y becomes a positive, so those are going to cancel. My y's eliminate, and then a negative 1, negative 6 ends up to be a positive 5. So now I want to solve this equation, quadratic equation, by making it equal to 0. And then obviously factoring if I can. Remember, if you are taking more than 15 to 20 seconds to factor, then you're going to resort to the quadratic formula. But this can be factored. We have a 2x plus 5 and an x minus 1. So 5x minus 2x will leave me with 3x. So my solutions to this system, or to you, would be negative 5 over 2, which if you wanted to write it as a decimal, could be negative 2.5. And the other solution for x is 1. So now we want to take those x values and substitute them back into one of these equations, does not matter which one, to value. Okay, so I'm going to choose to substitute it into my first equation, just because it's there. They're both equally difficult or easy, doesn't matter which one you choose. I'm going to choose this one, but before I start substituting in, I'm going to actually rearrange this equation and solve it for y. And then when I substitute values in, it makes things a little bit easier. So I'm going to bring 1 to this side to make it a plus 1, and I'm going to bring this negative y to the other side to make it a positive y. So when I substitute in a negative 2.5, so I could take my calculator and evaluate this all on my calculator. I get a y value of 41. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same with my x value of 1. So 6 times 1 squared minus plus 1 is equal to y. I get a value of 6. So the two solutions to my system would be negative 2.5 or negative 5 over 2, doesn't matter, comma 41, and my second solution would be 1 comma, and that you solve a system of equations by elimination.